everybody. Good morning and welcome to a fantastic new week. I hope you're all keeping very well, keeping very safe, and I hope that all is well with you and yours. Thank you so much for everything, for all your support, for liking, sharing, commenting, and just being part of these conversations on a weekly basis. Today we'll be talking about something that isn't spoken so much about as much as the other. Now that sounds a bit dodgy, right? Now, what I mean is, we'll be speaking about employee experience. There's been a lot of talk about employee engagement, but not as much as the experience. Now, I remember during the COVID lockdown, there was a lot of effort, a lot of communication to make sure that employees, albeit remote, were being well engaged. They were kept busy, they were kept optimized, just to make sure that the transition from being in the typical old, if you permit, old way of working, everybody physical in the office, wasn't too abrupt to working remotely or in isolation for some people. Now, what is this conversation about employee experience? I liken it to cables that carry electricity. Now, if a cable is absent or damaged or inadequate and you run current, there will be casualties and in some cases fatalities. That is what employee experience is like. Now, we can have employees, we may engage them, we may utilize them, optimize them. However, if their experience while in your employment is not adequate, sufficient, or in place, then I hope you're beginning to get the picture. There will be a lot of repercussion. Now, this isn't just about the corporate employers. They obviously, it's by default, but this is also regarding leaders in the workplace and for all of us who employ domestic help in one way, shape, or form. Now, I recall a story of one leader like that, and I stumbled onto a conversation. I think I stumbled onto the conversations maybe once or twice or thrice, where she was communicating with her domestic help, mommy somebody or Sisi Lagbaja, somebody that helps her in caring for her children. And I could see that there was so much honor and respect and, quality in the way she spoke to her domestic help. At that moment, I was like, really? You mean? And my response was because, or my reaction or my thoughts were because the best I know, her reports and people, somewhere along the line beneath her, didn't quite get that type of positive experience in working quite closely with her. That's just one person. Now, it is important that we are all responsible. We know that we're all responsible for the experience that our colleagues, team members who are committed into the hands and the care, the nurturing place of team leaders, line managers who are responsible for teams, HODs that are responsible for departments, and on and on and on. The business employed you, hopefully equipped you if they didn't equip you, then in the spirit of self-development and the spirit of the way you want to care for your own personal family and relatives, should also extend the same courtesies, to the people that, based on employment, entrepreneurship, in some way or form, have been entrusted to you, to make sure that they get a good experience working closely with you. You see, because when people leave organizations, they will literally not remember how you gave such a sharp, smart response at one closing deal or one transaction, or how you were the best person with analysis paralysis, or how, man, you just hammered it at that MPR. Nobody will remember that. What people will remember would be the sum or the majority on the scale, positive and negative, where you made what and how you made them feel. The experience is what people will think about when they hear of opportunities outside and say, this person was good to me. Oh, I had issues with this person, but honestly, I can say that this person was. And this is not just coming from the juniors, it goes all the way to the seniors. I'm currently reading a biography of Mr. Avuru, and I read the anecdotes, I read the experiences and all that, and he gave a lot of credence to the significant people who impacted him positively, and a lot of technicalities, what they did and how they did. But you see, carrying all that, what he communicated actually was his experience. I remember a particular one that wasn't such a positive experience. He still shared it. He was gracious enough, of course, to withhold the name. The reason I gave that story is because sometimes when we're talking about improving employee experience, it's often assumed that it's just the juniors who are mumbling and grumbling. It goes all the way to the top and all the way to the lowest rank. Everybody wants to be treated well, with courtesy, and live with meaningful experiences. So, bringing this to a wrap, in your capacity, your maid, your driver, your chef, your aides, your executive assistants, your maids, the laundryman, the gate man, and all those people, office assistants, even the market women, the alabarus in the market, they should have a positive experience by or with given the opportunity to interact with you. This brings us to the end of today's conversation, and I trust that you will join me in the next conversation. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have a fantastic week ahead. Bye.